Okay guys, this is now the Romberg test. We'll do this first in neutral stance, and while we're in that neutral stance, we're going to turn our heads left and right with the eyes fixated on a target, whether it's a little bit close to you at arm's length or something far, as long as the eyes are fixated on something. Do about 5 reps each side. This assesses the lateral, the horizontal canals of the vestibular system. Then we move on to the head moving up and down, eyes fixated again on the target, 5 reps each. These are assessing now the anterior and posterior canals of the vestibular system. And we're just looking for swaying in this position. If there's any swaying, then we know that the vestibular system. From there, we close the eyes. So we exclude vision, turning head left and right. So now we exclude vision. So now we rely mostly on our balance system, on our vestibular system. About another 5 reps there. And then from there, while the eyes are still closed in neutral stance, you move the head up and down to again further assess the anterior and posterior canals. Notice if there's any swaying. So far we see no swaying on those. And then we switch on to a narrow stance, which makes things a lot more unstable. And we do the same kind of thing with keeping the eyes fixated on a target, turning the head left and right. And we want to make sure we're looking at any kind of swaying. And what we do want to see is where the initial sway occurs. That initial sway, either left or right, will tell us that that side is probably the dysfunctional side. From there, we move again, head up and down, fixated on the target, assessing those anterior and posterior canals of the vestibular system. Notice if there's any swaying there. And then we close the eyes again. This should feel a lot more unsteady. So as you guys can see here, we see some swaying going on. I believe he swayed first to the left, then went back to his right. Do another 5 reps there. Make sure that the motion of the neck is continuous. And then from there, take a little bit of a break, about a second or two. Then we move the head up and down while the eyes are closed. Notice any swaying or an increased swaying in there, or any neck tension, like he's actually might be scared of moving the neck, but you see how the sway just goes back and forth, back and forth. So things are getting a lot more tougher now. Then we moved on to the sharpened Romberg test, which was a lot more challenging. You can see with my athlete here, he's even just getting into position is still a little hard. And from there, we want to make sure that the feet are in one straight line, keeping eyes fixated on a target, turning head left and right. You notice that his fall was to the left. I want to try about 2 to 3 times, same foot position, and see how many times will he fall to his left, how many to his right, if possible. So if he has any trouble there just to getting into place, that should tell you that we would not do any kind of balance work in this stance. He's probably just not ready to do this yet. So he's keeping himself a little bit more balanced, but as you can see, he just wants to lean over to his left. So I might be suspectable of that left vestibular system, that left inner ear. Eyes open, head up and down, left to right. Same thing, we close the eyes, it becomes a lot harder, as you can see here. He will turn his head and automatically you see him just falling to that left side. So that I know that we cannot progress any balance movements or exercises in this stance. He's just not ready for it. So we would have to practice first on narrow stance.